always happens. Ooh, look at this tissue paper. I'm so excited. Ooh. How does this happen? Like, Nike, come on. Oh, holy mother of... Should we do it? Let's do it. Hey, I'm Jay. Welcome to my studio. Today, we have a very special edition. We have 2 sneakers, 1 video. Anyways, we're talking about Nike GRs. What are GRs? GR stands for General Release. So typically any sneaker that comes out on your major brand sites, your major retailers, where they're super easy to get, widely available. You don't have to wake up at 7 a.m. just to cop on sneakers. You can just wake up, get onto Nike.com, Adidas.com, wherever you want, and just buy your sneaker and actually get your shoe. That's how a lot of shoes were in the past. All this hype and limited releases, that's kind of a newer age sneakerhead issue that we have to deal with. So one thing I did want to mention is that GRs of the past are no more. GRs used to be really easy to get. They would never sell out. They would always go on sale. You would go to Nike Factory, you would find a lot of things that were GRs but weren't selling, and now they are severely discounted and you can pick them up for super cheap at Nike Factory. But those are old GRs. I'm noticing a new trend. I've been kind of seeing GRs just released really slyly on Nike.com, even though it's a really nice sneaker. And if some of these sneakers drop on the sneakers app itself, I guarantee you they would sell out immediately. Something I've noticed, GRs that are dropping on Nike.com, they typically still sell out after a few days, even all the sizes available. And once they're sold out, they're gone. So it's not typically like GRs of the past, where they're kind of constantly restocking. They're always available. You can always pick them up. I'm noticing that some sneakers that are really nice are releasing as GRs, and they end up selling out. And I kind of love that. Specifically, these Nike GRs in the video. So even sneaker media, there wasn't a lot of press on the first shoe, which is this guy right here, the AM90 Light Smoke Gray. I only saw 1 or 2 articles. One was on Sneaker News a few months before they released. The other was on Hypebeast right before they dropped. So I think right when they went on Nike.com, the Hypebeast article came out with some on-foot photos, and I just thought, man, they're just sitting on Nike.com and super easy to get. Honestly, if it weren't for that article on Hypebeast on these, I probably wouldn't have known, and I probably wouldn't have picked them up. I knew there was something special. And then we have the first shoe, or sorry, not the first shoe, the other shoe. So we have the Huarache Escapes. These are also an amazing shoe, and they were just so easy to get. There's more press on these. So there were articles on these on like Sneaker News, Soul Collector, you name it. There was some press coverage on what these are, the history of them, to kind of build a little bit of hype. And so because there was a lot more press coverage, I was kind of expecting this to release on sneakers and sell out immediately, just like everything else that releases on sneakers. But they didn't. Why is that? I have a few theories, but we'll get into that later. So the Nike Air Huarache. I did a little bit of research on these because I always felt kind of dumb not knowing what Huarache meant. So here's a little history. So Huarache is actually a name for a pre-Columbian handmade sandal, which was supposed to fit really true to your foot. And I think that kind of ties in with Nike's marketing for this shoe. So the first ad campaign is that the shoe is marketed to fit 1-to-1 with your foot, and that definitely reflects in the sizing of it. These, I would highly recommend going up half a size. I got a size 8.5, I'm normally a size 8, and these fit perfectly as an 8.5, so half a size up. This shoe fits super snug. That kind of makes sense with the origins of the Huarache sandals, having a really close fit to your foot, and these also fitting really true to your foot. If you compare this to the release of the Scream Greens sold out right away. They sold out because they came out on sneakers. I feel like sneakers is a place for people just getting into shoes. They don't really know what's hyped, what's beloved, what's a classic, and what's actually gonna resell really well. I think a lot of the general public just hops on sneakers, they sign up for whatever is on there, and they try to flip it on StockX. That's just kind of where the game is right now, where the culture is. But if you really like sneakers, I think you would really appreciate the release on these. I think these went up on like a Thursday. They sat on Nike.com for like 2 days until Saturday, and I kept checking sizes until finally, I think around noon on Saturday, they finally sold out. Even though it was a GR, probably a really wide release, they still sold out. There's still kind of that exclusivity maintained for having this sneaker, because you can't just go out and buy it whenever you want. I don't know how many pairs are made, but it just seems like this still has that exclusive vibe that you want with your sneakers, because you don't want something where you wear it out and like 10 other dudes on the street street have them on their feet and you're like, great. So I don't know, the Scream Green sold out right away, and honestly I think this is a way better colorway. So I swear, I feel like Nike is doing some testing on us just to see how real hype is. Do nice sneakers still sell out if people don't think that they're hyped or perceive that they're hyped? So it also makes me think, how many real sneakerheads are out there? If you don't like GRs, are you really a sneakerhead? So anyways, speaking of a sock-like sneaker, I was just talking about the Yeezys and 350s being like a sock. This shoe was actually inspired by a neoprene booty from jet skiing. So is this supposed to fit like a sock? And it totally does, like I mentioned. It's super comfortable. It does hug your foot like the Nike ad I mentioned. Yeah, it was just surprising how much I actually like this neoprene upper and how nicely the shoe fits. So one other thing, Huaraches are kind of a rare Nike shoe because they don't have any swoosh branding. They do have Nike on the back rubber pull tab and Air on the heel sole, but there's no swoosh on the shoe. Unless you look within the sock liner, there's that Nike International, unless you count the size tag on the inside of it too. But other than that, not a lot of Nike shoes omit the swoosh. That's kind of their signature, right? I think that's what kind of makes the Huaraches kind of special. Typically when a Nike shoe doesn't have a swoosh, all I can think of right now are like Jordans after the 7 no longer had the Nike branding and they kind of went off on their own. That kind of gives it its own kind of exclusive and special appeal, and I think just adds on to this shoe specifically. All right, so more on GRs. So I love GRs because there's no hype, and hype kind of equates to kind of like social status, right? It's like, oh, you have something limited and that instantly makes you cool. I don't know so much about that. I kind of value what you like. So if you really like something, own it. I mean, go all in on what you like. If you feel good, you'll look good. You'll kind of carry that confidence into anything else that you put on. I mean, that's how I want to say like Kevin Hart made, I don't know if he was the first one to wear it, but made the Nike Monarchs a thing for a little bit. If you like it, just go for it. And that's why I kind of love general releases. So again, onto the thing that's interesting. GRs are selling out. I think Nike is listening because we want to be exclusive with our kicks. We want what we have to be a little bit special. But how do we get that and also be able to get shoes that we actually like? I think that's through these GRs that sell out and don't restock. By dropping shoes really slyly on Nike.com and having a limited stock, but having enough so that people who like it actually buy it, I think that's the way to move forward with. I don't think sneakers is sustainable. Of course, it makes sense for the super hyped releases like a Travis Scott or a Sakai, or you name it, LeBron South Beach. I think it makes sense for super hype sneakers, but to be able to buy nice shoes that you like and still maintain that kind of aura of having something a little bit more exclusive, this is the perfect way to do it. And I love that I have both of these, and I do like that they sold out. So overall, I'd say the material quality of the shoe is super nice, but honestly, I don't even know if it's real leather or if it's fake vegan leather anymore. I just never know if Nike releases, but either way, if I can't tell, what's the difference, right? So yeah, this is a great shoe, but again, because I didn't really know, and I didn't like Huaraches in the past, I didn't really know how much I liked the shoe in person. I honestly copped the GR because Nike has that 60-day return policy. So I knew it couldn't go wrong, right? I could have a shoe in hand, make my decision, and then return it if I needed to, but definitely not returning these. Okay, one last caveat. Nike quality control is back at it again. When I got this shoe, there was a super long scratch on my left shoe, and hopefully you can see that in the B-roll. Like, for a brand new shoe to come with this large of a scratch and like little scuffs on the toe box, I was just like, come on, Nike, like give me something that's pristine and immaculate, like how my 350 V2s came. Anyways, let's get on to the other shoe. So now we've talked about Nike GRs and the Nike Huarache Escapes, get into this shoe, the Air Max 90. Honestly, Air Max 90s have always been a conflicting shoe for me. I always thought they were way too chunky, and I just didn't get the lifestyle runner vibe for a really long time. And just to mention it, old Air Max 90 retros didn't have the shape that these new retros have, which are just way sleeker, still kind of bulky, but because of that sleek material usage throughout the shoe, they look a lot sleeker, and just overall the design looks a lot better when you wear them. So right, I didn't used to like Air Max 90s. That's kind of true. There's only one colorway that I actually liked and thought that I would have bought, which was the Infrared Air Max 90. And so honestly, even back then when they retroed in, again, I think 2010, 2011, I really didn't like them just based on their media photos. What made me actually want a pair was going to class and seeing them on someone's feet. I saw them on an ABG's feet. So this ABG had Infrared Air Max 90s, and ever since then, I've wanted a pair, and I finally do have a pair. I do have the 2020 retro release, but anyways, ever since I saw them on her feet, Not because of her, but just because of how nice the shoe was. I was like, God, if Infrared 90s come out again, I'm gonna get them. And as a matter of fact, I like them so much, I got these too. Let's get into this. This colorway is so nice. And I think these sat on Nike.com because they're not on sneakers, because people don't think that they should be a hype shoe, or they don't know that this is a really nice shoe. Like, when are you ever gonna find a cool gray Air Max 90 with this many shades of gray, white swooshes, and just such a clean execution? Like, cool gray shoes, they're typically super limited. Well, a lot of cool gray, I wanna say Jordans, are super limited. I don't know, it just transfers so well onto this Air Max 90. And it's not common on like Hypebeast that these are like, damn, Nike's going for the New Balance crowd. And totally, I see that. These are like gray dad shoes. As you can see, one of my fits is with chino dad shorts. And I think they go perfectly. Fuck it, go for the dad vibe. These are definitely, I could see being a dad shoe, but then if you dress it up a different way, like in my second fit with black jeans and gray socks, that's definitely more of a streetwear look. And they work both ways. This is just overall a great shoe, great colorway, super easy to wear. And so let's get into the quality of this shoe. Even though the materials are super nice, I really don't know if they're real or fake, but all along the shoe, you have really nice thick cuts of hairy suede. Again, I honestly can't tell if it's real or fake, so Nike, you win. It's just overall really nice materials. And the heavy canvas on kind of the places where it's not suede, that's also really nice. I think that'll actually really help with kind of creasing as you wear the sneaker in. So anyways, my only two complaints on this gray Air Max 90 are that the tongue is a little too refined. So I would have liked it if it was just kind of a puffy tongue, and then the back kind of heel counter, so that license plate of the Air Max 90s. I wish they went with, I don't know, I would have liked a lighter gray or a different color. There's a little too much contrast on the back for me. I would have gone with like a light gray that matches the upper, but yeah, pretty minor complaints. So for these, because they were such a GR and because my size was in stock for so long, I heavily debated if I should return these. So again, I bought these with no fear because Nike has that 60-day return policy. I really went back and forth until I actually recorded on-foot footage for this video. And once I put them on feet and saw them on camera, sheesh. It was from starting my Nike return to shooting on-foot video, seeing them on camera, and instantly thinking, I'm keeping these. Like, there's no way I'm sending these back, especially because they sold out now. So I always say I'm not super into like hype and all of that, but I do like a little bit of that exclusivity that just a little bit of hype brings. I do want people to be able to get their shoes. So I think that pretty much does it. I don't think I have anything else to say about these two sneakers, but GRs, fire if you know what you're looking for. Both of these, so nice. Man, go buy some GRs. You can get nice sneakers, they don't have to be limited, and if Nike keeps following this trend, they'll sell out, you'll still have something exclusive, and you'll like it a lot more, trust me. So alright, that does it for me. I'm Jay. This is my studio. Thanks so much for watching. I got more coming. Stay tuned. Thanks.